morning, MarshMelon.com. Going over a game I'm pretty excited about to hear. Game from Capcom, Dungeons and Dragons, Xbox Live Arcade title. I'll get signed in here. Let's see what this is all about. Dungeons and Dragons, Chronicles of Mystara, something like that. 74, 93, 96, and 2013. Wizards of the Coast, LLC. Awesome. Alright, so we'll see what's happening here. Get my sound right. Everyone hear that? Sounding good? Looking good? Alright, that's a little bit better. So, yeah, we have Dungeons and Dragons. Been playing Dungeons and Dragons games since my childhood. Not so much paper and pen, mostly on the computer. They also, I think one of the first people to license the Dungeons and Dragons world was SSI, maybe? I remember playing the SSI role-playing games on the PC, and they were awesome. They were really good. SSI made some of my favorite games in game history. I actually have an SSI box art as my wallpaper for my phone, my smartphone. So it's pretty good to see that this is perpetuated and going on. I have no idea what type of role-playing game this is. Those used to be turn-based, and they did make a few as they matured. They made a few role-playing games that broke away from that turn-based dynamic. So the arcade mode. So I have no idea what this is. Yeah, obviously since then, it's Dungeons and Dragons come out in many ports, many different types of games, whether they're brawlers, like brawler beat 'em ups, all the way down to action role-playing games. And they still made role-playing games, although I haven't really played one in a long time. I haven't played any role-playing games in a long time from start to finish. I think one of the last ones I played from start to finish, which is really a fluffy role-playing game, was Tales of Symphonia, which was pretty cool. It was the guy with the top hat and stuff. I don't even know if I have any videos of that. I was just so pissed because I got really far in that game. One of the farthest role-playing games I played in a long time. Like I said, console role-playing game. And then I lost my save, and that was even before I started making videos. So, and obviously I think there's tons of people with videos up on YouTube from that game. Tales of Symphonia, something like that. Alright, it's real early in the morning. I'm going to be taking a few pauses here for coffee, because I am hurting for certain. We are very close to releasing our game, and it's been touch and go. I mean, we've been running wild here. Obviously, it's not making... You got some indie developers. I don't even really consider ourselves indie developers, because indie developers usually are part of an indie community. You hear about them talking on forums. They get exposure. I mean, we're two guys, a designer, programmer, crossing over on all types of jobs and stuff. So we really don't have any specific job titles. We're just trying to get stuff done. I mean, we're both not by trade sound engineers. We both make games for a living. When we're making our own, we're kind of just doing our own thing and getting the job done. I mean, the Famer Joe Games is one guy, MarshMelon.com is one guy together with Bulkhead Studios, and it's been crazy trying to get a game out, but we're getting it done. Website needs help, everything needs help. But yeah, like I was saying, indie game developers, just out there, people know about them, and we have been bombarding like all forms of social media with little updates and stuff, and it's it's slowly picking up momentum. Nothing really. Honestly, if you're watching this video today and you start following us, you will be among the first. Alright, my dog is kind of nipping at me, scratching the hell out of my calf. Alright, so here we go. Arcade mode, which I do not like to see, unfortunately, in a Dungeons and Dragons game. I don't know what to expect as far as Xbox Live arcade game. Role-playing games take an epic amount of people and resources to get done. This game probably took an epic amount of resources and people to get done, or could have. I mean, I honestly don't know what's going on with Xbox Live titles of this nature. You know, usually you get a publisher, and then it really just comes down to a studio at the end of the day and how big that studio is, whether they're just a few guys going nuts or, you know, tens of guys, you know, still going nuts, but, you know, you never know. You never know where they're coming from. The art looks pretty cool. Some time has definitely been spent here making this stuff. I mean, you know, really, people would just be pressing through all this stuff really fast, not really paying attention to it. But, you know, if you take the time to look, you can see that there's some design and time that went into getting this stuff done. You know, at the end of the day, even like the A, Y, and B buttons at the bottom of the screen, you know, someone sat down and said, all right, this is what I want this to look like. This is going to match nicely. You know, and you know, people getting paid to do this, you know, so pretty cool. I'm going to get into this. I see arcade mode, and I just, usually if you see arcade mode, you see another mode, and I don't see like another mode. I guess the other mode would be these challenges, which I want to jump into arcade mode and see what this is all about. It'd be pretty cool if this was like Dynasty Warriors. Dungeons and Dragons Dynasty Warriors game. I always usually go to the hardest difficulty so I get the full essence of the game. So it looks like this is nothing new at all. What I'm seeing now is some stretched graphics from an original game. I guess this is the arcade game. Well, we'll have to see. I'll pick the elf. I kind of just let it time out on there. But yeah, what I'm seeing here is some serious scaling and smoothing of some graphics. I'm wondering if in the options I can get rid of that. That usually does not look good at all. Alright, so help and options. Settings. I gotta turn this music down too. I'm not a huge fan of background music in games. Unless they don't allow you to turn it off. I mean, if you want to get your alright, so we got a widescreen and normal view, stretched. That's pretty funny. A left screen, right screen. So if you're standing in front of the original arcade game, they're kind of tilting the monitor to where it'd be the actual arcade cabinet. Okay, so this is just the arcade game. There's nothing new here. Oops. Sorry about that. I just totally dropped my control because the dog is going nuts here. Alright, so back to settings. I am not playing in right screen mode, cabinet mode. It's pretty funny. Alright, so I'm gonna go to normal mode. Filter. No filter. That's the setting I was just looking for. Scan lines on or off. So they're doing the effects. Trying to mimic the effects of the arcade. Which is pretty cool. Alright, so now we're back in, and here is the original graphics, and here we go. So, just in arcade mode, I'm this big burly elf. I guess a 4-player. So, definitely a cool arcade mode. Should have picked that up. So, a brawler. I gotta play some old SSI games and see if I can get these up on the PC. They were pretty awesome. It'd be pretty cool if I could get my old save files. So we actually modded some of those SSI games back in the past. We were probably one of the first people I knew modding games because we play them maybe not even get all the way through, and then we'd like modify the save files by using a hex editor. Before it was cool to do so. Way before it was cool to do so. This is before internets and all that other stuff. I think BBSs were just a thing to go talk to other people. So a lot more anonymous, a lot more respect, because if you were doing that, you know, you had to kind of both have parents that would support you getting a PC. I'm getting destroyed here. And the wherewithal to want to get into it. So there was probably a graduating class of 255 people. I think there was maybe 2 other people that I knew that were actively on BBSs in my whole entire grade, my whole graduating class. Yeah, talking through here because this is not necessarily oops, anything new to see here. This is the arcade version, and that's it. Do I like this? Is definitely something I'd have to think about myself a little because, you know, I can get through these games. You know, I really like the genre, obviously, whether I admit that in an open forum. Honestly, I've never really even played the pen and paper version. There's not enough time for that. It was hard enough in my community to find people that were into computers, let alone into pen and paper. Dungeons and Dragons takes that to a whole different level. It's hard for me to believe this is the hardest difficulty. Yes, it is, though. I should have been dead already, right? In an arcade mode, especially an arcade game set to a hardest difficulty. It's usually normal difficulty is set for a 3-minute experience. If you want to have a successful arcade game, because you need to get those quarters. Especially a game that was made at the time this game was made. I'm not even sure what year this game was made in the arcade. These guys should definitely destroy me. I need a water.
By the abyss.
Sorry for it. I thought I picked the elf. Alright, so we'll get through this, guys. Yeah, I don't think this is the hardest difficulty. So I got unlock or break open 10 chests. So it looks like I got some achievements I'm working on back there, which is kind of cool. These guys are going crazy. So yeah, if you're gonna do these old arcade titles, that is a pretty slick move to give me something to go for, some achievements, and put them in the letterbox, or the pillar boxes rather. So I guess I wouldn't see that information if I was in that stretch mode that we saw. I need a what? Sounds like he's saying I need to piss. Alright, I'm about to go see the continue coming up here in a second. Dispatch that guy. Oh, this guy's about to get me. Alright, that was it. Alright, so there you have it. Dungeons and Dragons. Xbox Live Arcade. It's June 20th, 2013. Pretty cool. If you like this type of retro stuff, you can get out there and beat up some guys, get these achievements to the left. I thought I picked Elf. I guess I picked Fighter. That's fine. A little early, a little tired. I gotta go on to the next game. I think it's gonna be something to do with race cars on fire or something. So I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. It's been great here, taking a tour back to this game. Done by Capcom. I really don't know the developer they had throwing this thing together. Obviously, I don't think it would take too many people to port a game like this. Tell me to use the right and left buttons to seal my stuff here.
weapons unlocked. So it's kind of cool. They kind of wrapped this game and put some decent achievements in here. Not a whole lot of work went into those achievements. Those icons, I mean. Pretty cool. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next video.